Welcome back, this is Fox with another Anno 1800 video. Today we're going to be talking about chocolate production, mainly the two different methods which you can use to create chocolate. One of them is the standard method using cocoa beans, sugar cane, obviously it gets refined to make sugar and then you make your chocolate. Or the other one, there is a specialist that you can use that substitutes the need for sugar and sugar canes and uses coffee beans. I've got two islands using each one of these methods, and we're going to take a look at them. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts on why I think one is better than the other. So we're going to have a quick look at both the islands first. This is my sugar 2, if you like. This is the one using the traditional method. These are my cocoa plantations. This is my sugar cane plantation. These are my chocolate factories. I've got 2 trade union clusters. I've got 39 chocolate factories in total. Right, let's talk about what's going on here then. As I said, it uses cocoa, sugar cane, gets refined into sugar, and then mixed with cocoa beans to make chocolate. I'm not really too bothered about the extra step of making the sugar because I have it on a 0 workforce. Well, virtually 0 workforce. Each one of these sugar refineries is taking only 5 workers, so it's very, very minimal. The specialists are using the trade union to get this. The Oxford bell, I mean, you could use this extremely loud bell, then it would be 0 workforce. Printing press, produce 25% productivity, minus 40 workforce. And then a ferrous, as usual, plus 50% productivity, minus 10 workforce. So generally, making the sugar costs you nothing apart from the production of the building, if you do it this way.
Not to ruffle your bow tie.
The good thing about this setup is that because of the specialists that I've got in my chocolate factories, which is Gennaro Garibaldi, chocolatier by royal appointment, and Charlotte the Chocoholic, these both produce sugar in the production of making the chocolate. If you watch here, when the chocolate is made, you're going to see this sugar symbol come up. You can see. So we are making sugar at the same time as we're making chocolate, and it gets fed back into the system. If we go into the statistics, look up sugar production for this island, you can see we're making 142 tons of sugar on this island. If I click on it, the chocolate factories are virtually making all of it. If I pause the sugar refineries,
the more the merrier.
Paused all the sugar refineries, we're making a good bit from the actual factories itself. Probably, it's hard to tell. 68 it's saying. So 70 and 70 is 40. So we're making over half of the sugar needed for this production by the actual chocolate factories itself. The other half is being made by these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We've only got 20 sugar refinery buildings making the sugar. This would fit around one trade union cluster.
Anyway, the wind blows.
Go away, will you? These would fit around one trade union cluster. I've just used 2 just to spread it out and make good use of the land. So we're making sugar from the actual chocolate factory itself. It's such a bonus. You save a lot of space using this method. The only downside is that without using the 0 workforce that I had, if you're at an earlier state in the game, it's going to take a lot of people to produce the sugar as well as the chocolate factory. So in my eyes, this is a really, really good and viable way to do it. Also, when you have the sugarcane factories boosted, as you can see, because we're making an awful lot of sugar via the chocolate factories, you don't need that many sugarcane plantations. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've only got 8. That's all, and that's feeding these 39 chocolate factories. So aside from the cocoa, the other farms that you need is not much. In comparison with the amount of cocoa farms I've got 33 cocoa plantations. We only need 7 sugarcane plantations to provide them with enough sugar that goes along with the sugar being made by the chocolate factories. So you're saving an awful lot of space compared to the other method, which is this one. This is the alternate method. If I click on the trade union, the chocolate factory here, you can see it uses coffee beans and cocoa beans. Now it's virtually a 1-to-1 ratio. If we have a look, we need just under 114 coffee beans. We need virtually the same, 110 cocoa beans. So as you can imagine, you need an awful lot of space to run this type of setup. You can see this island is totally filled with fields. Should have about 30 or 40 of each. We've got 24 coffee bean plantations, 29 cocoa plantations to supply 2 trade union clusters. These trade union clusters, I've got 39 chocolate factories on each island, 39 on chocolate, 39 on chocolate 2. So the overall output you're going to see now is drastically different. Chocolate 2, we're producing 146 tons a minute. That's the method that uses the sugar cane, obviously, and the sugar, and recycling the sugar, if you like, that comes from the chocolate factories. The normal chocolate factory, chocolate island, is making 116. So it's a difference of 30 tons a minute, which is almost a quarter of what we are making on the traditional island. So it generates a lot more. I'll talk about why this difference is. This is a chocolate factory on the island that's using the coffee beans, as you can see. If we look in the trade union, for the purpose of this video, I've put an extremely loud bell in both of the trade unions to say that we're reducing the workforce by half. That leaves us 2 trade union slots on each island to put whatever we want in. Both of them, I've put Gennaro Garibaldi, chocolatier by royal appointment. This is obviously making sugar. We don't need it for this process. At the moment, I'm using it on my other island, but the main reason I use him is because it gives plus 50% productivity. There's nothing else apart from a ferrous that will do that. Also, I'm using the sugar from this island on my other one in a bit, but I will be converting this to the traditional method of sugarcane in the future because of what we learnt today. So 2 slots already took up, Gennaro Garibaldi and the bell. The other 3rd slot has to be took up by this chap, Quality Chocolatier. This is the chap that, instead of using sugar, allows the buildings to process coffee beans. So he's doing a clever thing, swapping out the sugar for coffee beans, but he takes up a trade union slot. That is plain and simple the reason why you're getting more productivity out of the other island. So if we go back over to the island doing the traditional method, sugar cane, refining the sugar into chocolate. Same setup on over here. We've got Gennaro Garibaldi, chocolatier, again, 50% productivity, making me the sugar that I want. Got the bell in there, reducing the workforce. But we also have an extra trade union slot that we don't need to take up by the chap that turns the input into coffee beans. So we can put this woman in, Charlotte the Chocoholic. She gives us a 40% boost and produces extra sugar as well. So we're getting sugar from Garibaldi and Charlotte the Chocoholic. So not only are we getting a productivity boost compared to the island where we have to use the coffee beans, we've got a 40% productivity boost. We're also gaining extra sugar again, which gets fed back into the system, which is again saving us more space on the island where we don't have to make sugarcane farms or retrospectively coffee bean farms. So the amount of space it saves by having this method of sort of circulating the sugar back in that's made in the chocolate factories is crazy. Another thing to note also is if we go to the coffee island, these are boosted by tractors, boosted by the super seed. This one is, let's go over here and make sure this is similar. Yeah, this is boosted by super seed, so an extra 35% modules. That's the only thing affecting the amount of modules on both islands is the super seed. Same again, super seed plus 35% modules. If you click on a sugarcane plantation, even with the super seed boost, it only needs 172 modules. If we go over to the one using coffee beans, click on a coffee bean, it's 310. So it's nearly double the amount of land a coffee bean farm takes up compared to a sugarcane plantation. And not only do you need a lot less of the sugarcane plantations because of because of the sugar that you're circulating back into the system, it takes up half as much space as well. So all in all, the traditional method is the way to go. The only reason I could see being viable of using this method is if it's an island where you haven't got sugarcane fertility. But like say if you wanted to use this island to make your chocolate on, it's got no sugarcane fertility, it's got coffee bean fertility, fair enough, you might as well use it. But with the introduction of the Research Institute and the ability to change fertilities,
We're on the brink of
it
something.
sort of cancels out the need to worry about what fertilities you have on each island. If you go in major discoveries, mastery of nature, you can change the fertility. Click on this. I've already got one in stock, so I can actually show you what it does. If we go back to this world, click on this one again, no sugarcane fertility, click on the pearl fertility, click on that, change fertility. So obviously that specialist was created before the Research Institute came out and this such thing was possible. But yeah, from what I have learnt today and over the last week or so, trialing different methods of chocolate production, this is the way to go. Standard method, put Garibaldi and Charlotte in. You could even put a Ferras in here if you wanted more production. You don't need to use the you don't need to use the 50% workforce reduction. I just like to do it. I like to have just one and a bit town hall clusters. You can see I'm not using, I don't even need all these. I could probably delete this whole cluster, to be fair, and some. So I've got a lot of boost in these town halls, but I like to just have one town hall cluster, if you like, per island. Same with all of my islands. This is my chocolate island. I've got virtually nothing on here because it's all very, very low workforce. This is my coffee island, sorry. With a chocolate island, I've got literally, this is the one where we just were. Here again, just one town hall with boosts in. So yeah, if you're thinking of umming or ahhing between the different methods, go with the traditional method. You save yourself a lot of space, you get a lot more production, and it is a little bit more fiddly because there's an extra added process of having to set up the sugar refineries, but with a few specialists it takes out all the hassle. You can just have that zero workforce as well. It doesn't take up that much space. Use one or two trade unions to put them in places where you're not going to have anything
We are
else.
keen to get started again.
Yeah, I hope you learned something in this video. I certainly learned something when I was working this out this week. So, yep, stay tuned for more tips and trips videos and other videos like this. Thanks for watching.